Guys, hello and welcome to Skycurser Daily number 53. Got some good things in store for today. We are going to be picking up where we left off from last stream, and we finally were able to accomplish what we've been trying to accomplish the last several streams. So specifically that means we finished up grabbing the PEBs and bringing them into level 2 correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play with the game so that we can see exactly where it is that we left off, and just going to make sure that everybody knows, and then I'm going to start editing the way that the streams behave, the streams of PEBs behave in level 2. So that's where we're going to start, and so let's go ahead and hit play, and we can just watch the compile window for a moment. And we worked on bringing in a minimum of 4 streams of PEBs at the end of last stream, and we were able to accomplish that, so we'll see that here in just a minute.
Sky Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
So there's 1 stream at the bottom, 2 streams right above that, all part of the same, and then we've got 4 groups here total coming in. So the last 3 groups of PEBs, had 2 sets of PEBs in them, but that was 4 groups total. So that's 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups entered, 4 groups entered. And so they all, now the big thing that we were working on was getting them to stagger when they come in terms of the entrance times, so that they could come in not necessarily at the exact same time, or at the or waiting for one to fully complete before the next one comes in. Now we have them just literally coming in whenever we activate them, so that's a really good place to be at. And probably gonna have to silence some of this extra noise here, and let me just do that real quick before I start changing the paths of the enemies and start reading exactly the scripting that we have laid out. So that would probably be controllers, enemies. Maybe start here. I don't see any there. I'm gonna keep this commented code in here temporarily. This is completely not used at all. I could probably even comment this out so it doesn't even try to run that conditional. So the next place we'll go to look and see if we can remove some of this extra noise right here, all this in the debug window. Object, enemy 3, helper. Is there any... Oh, that's object enemy 3. I did not mean to open that one. I meant to open the helper. We got nothing in the create event that would be outputting debug messages. Nothing here. So back to script enemy 3 spawn, and that's going to be right here, and good, no more debug messages here. Got to generate one. I also have a can generate that I did not check yet. Let me see. Good there. And looks like most of them are going to be in the generate. So comment this guy out. Actually, let's just remove it. And I know I've got another one or two in here. Remove that guy. Don't need these anymore. Don't need these for sure. There's the debug message. There's another debug message. Another. And another. Okay, so that should remove most of that debugging that we saw there. That's fairly unnecessary. As I'm thinking about it, there's one more debug message that I want to remove for Skycurser. That occurs every time he dies. So let's see if we can find that real quick. Script object Skycurser dies. There it is. Okay, so now for level 2, we're going to be modifying the way these come on screen. So we need to add a few new paths. I'm going to do TB, that'll be top to bottom, and going to be a smooth curve, not be closed. Let me look at the way I constructed this one. Don't remember relative speed at that point. Okay, 100 is default, it looks like. So let's start. I've got down here at the bottom, I've got my X and Y positions. I know my screen is only 320 by 240, and I basically want it to start close to the top and then slowly make its way down. I'm going to take this guy down, this one here, 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 and probably just make this quite a bit bigger. This is down to 176. Let's make this a little bit more steep, and I want to bring it as close to 240 as possible. I think I need to pull this guy back to make this look right. And I'll probably put, well, this guy I could probably remove. This is at 208. It's at 32. 240 is my height. That's 240 right there. I'd like to maybe bring it up just a little bit from 240. That would be pretty close to where I want it to be. So this is going to be top to bottom. I'm going to basically do the inverse of this, bottom to top. And shift the view to the left, right, top, bottom. Center the view around the path. Not sure what that does. It would probably pull this curve to the center, I'm guessing. Shift the path, flip horizontally. I basically want to save this. I don't know if I can copy. Yeah, let's duplicate and change this to bottom to top, and then flip it. Perfect. So they'll come in from the bottom right and go to the top. I should say right to left, bottom to top. This is also right to left, top to bottom. Thumbs up there. Okay, now let's just add some of those enemies to these particular helix patterns. Let me turn this volume down just a little bit. It's kind of loud in my ear. Okay, two. That's better right there. Okay. Now the last thing I want to do is go look at the controller script, and specifically the enemy's controller, and actually I'm sorry, the object that is the enemy's enemy generator. Look at the step event, which has basically a script inside of it. And we've got the script story point builder down here where we're actually starting to bring everything in after the intro sequence. This is basically the intro sequence up here, which I'm probably going to take out of here and put into a script so that it's just pulled out of here so that it's a little bit more clear what's happening in this file. So we want to make sure that these know which paths they are, which position points they are on. And I think when we specify a position point, we will also specify a path for it to follow, and pass that to the last script. Now, everything in level 1 goes on a very simple path, but everything in level 2 will go on quite a bit different path. So let me just follow this through, and when it gets to the enemies, enemy 3, and specifically the spawn event, or the spawn script, let's make this larger. I'm thinking we're probably going to pass a path through here, and let me think about this for a second. And then it passes over to the generate script. And the generate script ends up sending it along a specific path, right? And we basically have 6 arguments which represent 6 global positions. We can have anything position 6 global positions that could occur at any time. We could pass more into here if we wanted to, and I may even rework how this is working, because I think this is a little bit verbose in terms of passing in arguments, but we'll keep it the way it is for now, and we'll use what is here, because these are just entrance positions, and then we'll probably determine over either when we're generating the enemy or over here in the actual script which path these should follow. So here's where we send it along script enemy 3 path, and we pass in the exact path. So maybe what I'll do here is pull the path right in this file, since it would make sense. I mean, this script right here doesn't really have to know which path it's going on, but this script right here could be the piece that determines the path. So I think what I'll do is pull in the path right here. Enemy 3 path equals script get path, and what are we passing in here? We're passing in the enemy generator object and the expected Y position. The get path should probably have knowledge of the current story point, and I think we'll just end up passing argument 0 in here. So I'm going to say argument 0, and the script will automatically know what room it's in. So let's script enemy 3 get path. Let's call it here, create script, and we have an argument here, script enemy 3 get path var. Let's go ahead and spell out what we're bringing in. Argument 0 equals enemy generator object var arg0 equals argument 0, and we'll know which room we're in by switch. Let me think for a second. Switch room get name room, and then inside of here we'll have a room case of room level 1, break case room level 2, break, and then we'll have inside of here we'll have different different story points, points in time basically on the timeline. And I want to set one more variable up here, which will be the path selected, and we'll give it a default path popcorn because that is a real path right now, and we will return path selected. Inside of here, so all of room level 1 is path popcorn, so we don't really have to touch room level 1. But right now we're just specifying the rooms so we can know, we're in room level 2 right here. And for this, I think we need to have the story point. So we'll do a switch case here. Did I pass the story point into here? Let's see. I think I did, yes. The captured story point is right here. I think this is a better item to go off of. So I'm going to make sure this argument 7 is passed into the script enemy 3 path, mainly because the enemy generator object story point can change depending on what particular part of the script it's in, and we don't want it to change after we are trying to activate a specific story point right to a different story point right before we're trying to activate it. So we are passing the captured story point along, and I think I'll just pass that here, arg7. I do see that I'm passing argument 1 through 6, and that way that's fine. But yeah, let's just pass argument 7 in all these cases. Oop, missed that one. arg7. Thumbs up. And now we have in here, we have an extra argument that we have captured as a parameter. Argument 2 equals captured story point, and var arg2 equals argument 2. And then in here we'll pass the last argument as the captured story point in here. And honestly, we may even not need enemy generator object. I'm going to go ahead and let it get passed into here for now, just in case I need it later, but I might not need it. Captured story point var arg1 equals argument 1. And now we can do a switch case off of argument 1. we know right now we've got a 0 story point, we've got a 1 story point, and right now we're just trying to verify that our story points work. So by default, case 0, we want to be path, I think I named it path popcorn, right to left, top to bottom. Is that what I named it? Apparently not. Let's see. Path. Here it is. Path popcorn helix. Got it. Helix. There we go. Here it is. And I need to name that path selected. Set that to path selected. And we'll do the same thing here, and we'll change this from top to bottom to bottom to top for the second story point. In case 2, we'll let it stay at position 3 or at path popcorn, which is the default. So the next thing that we have to do is make sure that we're sending them in the correct positions that we want. I think I've got that exactly the way I need it for now, and I want to send one in at the top, I want to send one in at the bottom, and I basically want to send one in the middle, but I don't have that right now. Let's just start with case 1, 2, and 3 for the position point, and that is set in the enemy generator object for these enemies. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Here are the position points. We'll set at 1, 2, 3, and just go ahead and set this back to 1 again. The other thing that we have going on is we want to make sure the first one is 24, the second one is 24, and the third one is 8, just to prove that we've got this working correctly. And I set the amount that come in through, let's see, where was that? Let me look at my notes here. I've got some Evernote items regarding this. So we go through get group max. That's where it is. And so we got to go find get group max. I don't see it here in enemy 3, so that likely means it's here, and it is. And so it's a default of 8, mainly because of the first level. Trying to think. I think I might be. Where is get group max run? Let's check real quick, because I want to make sure that. I think I've covered room level 1 altogether, but I just want to make sure I don't overwrite room level 1. Script. Let's just say enemy get group max. Enemy 3. Called from can generate. Okay, so it's determined very early on where that is going to happen, and this should be happening for both rooms at the moment. So I probably want to change this so that we have a switch on the room get name for room, and pull this guy up into it. Perfect. And the case here will be room level 1, break, just go ahead and break right there, case room level 2, and then this is room, all of this is room level 2, and have a break at the end of this guy. Okay. So now we have argument 0 being passed in as the current story point. By default, room level 1 will always have 8 because that's always how we had it set up. But we want to make sure at the very least case 0 and 1, like we said, have 24. So we'll set 24 as the default there, and then 2 will let case 2 will automatically go to group max 8, and that'll be what is returned. So we're just testing this initially. We can go ahead and spell it out. I think we'll just spell out, we'll skip 2 because 2 will automatically be 8, and that's what we said we wanted. And then we've got a group 3 that, I did want to go ahead and send out 24 of those at the same time, so let's just check and see what that looks like. So we get the group max there. And I think we might be good there. So let's just save that and hit run and see if we have. I'm thinking of one thing that I'm already missing, so I need to. It's a very small piece, but should be very simple to fix. So let me. Just going through a mental checklist, and I lost my. So give me 1 second here while I update this particular path. It should be on path. And we've already basically gotten the path here, so I need to make sure this says, whoops, enemy 3 path. And we're good there. Let's try it. Play. I'm sure I've got a bug in here somewhere, but that's fine. We'll wait and see.
Skycurser. Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Bug. Okay. Copy this, abort. Let's go ahead and see what the bug is related to. Get this down here so I can get to my notepad to write a simple note. And we've got a problem with apparently enemy 3 path is not specified. So we got to figure out why enemy 3 path is not returning correctly. So this should be specifying an enemy path, and I might just set this to a variable because we should just basically get reset every time. Script enemy 3 get path should be returning a path, and it is. Path selected is right there. Case 0 should be the story point. Let's output some show debug message. Default path selected. And then let's output the path one more time. Final path selected. Set that to a string because right now it's a path. Different type than a string. And let's do one more piece, which will be the current story point. Okay, let's try that. Now this should help us see exactly where we're at when we get stuck. I think, of course, it should say story point 0. We should see at least the default path, and we should see that the path has changed by the time it gets back to the other script. But we'll see here in just a minute.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Here we go. So, these guys have not selected the correct path. Okay. They went straight to, let's see what the story point is showing up as. 60, which is definitely not correct. So I must be passing the wrong variable in here, because that would explain why they all chose the generic path popcorn. So they selected path 3. I'm surprised that comes through as a number. There must be a way to get the actual name of that. How about path get name? Is that a real thing inside of Game Maker? Path get name. There it is. Turns the name of a given path. Cool. So minimize this. Let's change this to path get name, because path 3 doesn't mean a lot to me. So we should be able to see the actual name of whatever this path is. Additionally, the weird thing that happened was the story point that came through was way off. So we got to make sure that what we're passing through here is correct. And I see the problem. So what I passed through was the expected Y position when I should have passed through argument 2 and not argument 1. So this probably will fix itself and we'll see some output.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So pretty close, pretty close. So not everything is going where I expect it to go. That's a little bit odd. I think maybe my position points are off. Not entirely sure. But I think that helix was a little bit too long, so I need to lower that. I need to basically fix the path. So we will pull this guy up 2 positions, pull this guy and let's make this just a little bit longer than the screen so that it doesn't try to start a new path. Basically, you can specify what you want it to do with specify what you want GameMaker to do with an object when it reaches the end of its path. Generally, if the path is just kind of a path that loops over and over, it'd be fine, but this path doesn't loop. It basically would have to start over down here, which means it would continue going south. We don't necessarily want that, and we may even want it to almost loop. So but let's just try this. I pulled this up basically, how much is that? Looks like it's about 16 pixels. I pulled it up about 32 pixels because I pulled each of these up 2 snaps here, and let's just try this first. If I don't like this, what I'll do is I'll pull this guy way up like this, and I'll make sure the other one on this end does a similar thing where it comes way down like this. It would probably look pretty cool. But let's just try this, and let's save that. Let's see what this guy does. So that means I would probably pull this guy out a few. I'm not sure exactly how many I pulled the other one out. We'll pull these up too. That should probably keep them from scraping along the bottom of the screen like they were. Pull this guy over a little bit. Let's try that. The other thing that I didn't check was the position points, but let me just try to get this very first pattern / path correct. So we'll try that first.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
So the next one isn't coming in where I think it should be coming in, so got to fix that. And let's look at our output here. I want to see what this ended up looking like. Story points. So when story point 1 came out, it chose the wrong path. Right to left, bottom to top. Actually, it did choose the right path, but something happened and it did not follow the right path, or at least I didn't see it on screen. These all should be going through the depth engine. I'm not sure that they are, but let's check and see if we can figure that out real quick. So that would probably be on script enemy 3 generate, and here is where it is generated. I don't think it's here in the spawn. Nope. Path? Yeah, here it is. Instance create. X position, Y position. So there may be something wrong here, which is fine. We can check that in a minute. But everything should go through the depth engine, which it does. Okay, so question is, did everything go through the correct Y position like I think it should have? And that we would discover that in spawn. We wanted one to start at the top, one to start at the bottom. So this is case 1 and case 2. And then our enemy generator is what spawns these and determines the position points. So it starts at 1, starts at 2 here. I believe this is how my script is set up. Let's go look at the story point builder to make sure. Story point builder right here. Yes, position point is the second argument. So passing that along. Passing argument 2 along to script enemy 3 gen helper. Argument 2, argument 3, sorry, should be coming through as the position point. Let's make sure that gets passed along correctly. Yes, it does, to the enemy object. I'm pretty sure this is correct already, in that it is something else, but I'm just verifying that I'm not having an issue here. So this goes through the helper object, which then adds the position point to script enemy 3 spawn as argument 1. let's verify that we got that right on script enemy 3 spawn. Should be argument 1 on this side. Here it is. Argument 1 comes through as the position point. Good. And we're doing a switch case on argument 1, which is the chosen position point. We should be sending everything correctly through to the script enemy 3 generate. So we've chosen.
Hey babe,
Yeah.
I found for our next house. Liam's still awake.
So global position 2 and global position 5 should be about where you think they would be. And then the next one, it looks like it's skipping over one to me, like it's not generating correctly. Because the next one looks like it comes out properly. Actually, it's almost like we missed 2 of them. There should have been the initial one that comes top to bottom, the second one goes bottom to top, the third one, I guess the third one would be this positioning right here, and the fourth one was going to be back to position 1 where they're going top to bottom, but it's a 0 index. Zero index, and we're talking about the, let's get the path right here, let's put can generate up here, get the path here, room level 2, argument 1, captured story point, captured story point should by default be path popcorn, which it is. The third one did follow path popcorn, but the first one, or the second one technically, 0 index. Second one should have followed this one, but didn't seem to. Let me look at it real quick. That path popcorn, right to left, top to bottom. This is backwards, I think. Is it possible? Let me look at this one. Yeah, see, it's going backwards. Whoops, did not mean to add that. So I need to flip the direction of this. Is there a way to do that? Reverse the path. Boom. Got it. Okay. And this is correct. So that starts there and goes that way. Perfect. Okay, so that was probably the problem right there. Why the second one wasn't coming in the correct position and going the correct. It was probably not even coming on screen based on the way that path was set up. It was probably going further away from the stage or the screen.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
There's 1, 2, oh, they're too close together. Third group comes in. Fourth group should be taking the same path as the first one, but I don't think I spelled that out in the get path script. Let's check that out. Here it is right here. case 2. Yeah, I didn't spell that out, so the fourth one would be here, case 3. Yeah, because that would be 4. Pass selected equals that, and that's kind of what I had envisioned. Let's change the speed of their entrance. Let's push that 1 back a little bit. So the enemy generator is here, step event here, and so let's go 8 here and see what that outputs.
Mission 1, Death at Dusk. Go!
Do I even have this thing working? Oh my gosh. Alright, sorry about this, guys. Of course, it's not switching like it should be. Back and forth. Sorry about that. Switch. Start. Okay. So nobody even got to see the very first part where I started. So sorry about that, guys. I know you probably were trying to follow that. And I did not make it easy. So here we are.
Mission 1, Death at Dusk. Go!
Nice. Look at that shiz. Oh shoot. That's tight. That's looking good, man. Woo! Alright. That is awesome. Okay, now we might have to add one more enemy to these. I think this is where we're gonna add the dire pebs in. But let me look at the scripting for level 2. We've got this laid out in a file, so I'm going to read it real quick, so give me just a moment. Again, sorry guys that you couldn't see the screen. I didn't have OBS to set up to automatically screen switch. And let's go here and say Skycurser, tabs, enemy script, stream of 24 pebs enter at location 1, pattern much wider than mission 1, there are 3x in the stream. Pebs leave the screen in section 4. Halfway through the first stream, second stream of 24 Pebs enter the screen. Its pattern is reverse of previous stream and leaves the screen in section 1. As soon as the second stream is on screen, a cluster of 6 floating eyeballs enter the middle of the screen at section 3. Okay. Immediately after the Pebs appear on screen, a third and fourth stream of 24 Pebs enter the screen simultaneously. One enters section 1, leaves at section 4. The other enters section 4, leaves at section 1. 2 streams crisscross the middle of the screen. Last Peb in these strings are dire Pebs. Okay, so no dire Pebs until the second set of Pebs. Dire Pebs always aim and shoot at the player when they reach the first third of the screen. So I guess they're only going to shoot once, it looks like. And that's fine. Okay. So we are in a really good spot here. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up the third group to be enemy 2. I'm not sure what the position point for these guys should be, so let's go look. We've got that set up in enemy gen helper script. Pull this guy off to the side. Go up here to enemy gen helper, and then we have this, sorry, that's enemy 3 gen helper. We have this guy pulling up enemy 2 script, enemy 2 position helper right here. And so we want 6 to enter. So let's put there's 3 and 4, 2 and 5. I think we just want to do 3 and 4 3 times. So we go 12, 12.5. I think that maybe that would be a little too close, I'm not sure. Let's try 13.5 and go 15 here. So enemy 2, they all come in at position 1 based on that position point helper. And enemy 3, these last guys here come in as soon as they're all on screen. These last two come in together at 15 seconds. And one comes in at position 1, one comes in at position 2. I think that's it so far. In a minute, we'll add the direpeds to these streams. So let's try this, see what we got.
Mission 1, Death at Dusk. Go!
So 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets. And those are too far apart, and I can't hit them yet. And then those guys chose the default because I have not assigned the correct piece to them yet. So unfortunately, I'm going to need to count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is the story point. Debating in my head if we should have some sort of enemy 3 generator helper that helps us know what set of enemy 3s are on screen instead of determining what the story point is. Either way, I'm going to have to know which group is coming in, so might as well know the story point, won't hurt. These guys are spaced too far apart from what I could tell, so let's change that to 12, change that to 13, see if that's close enough. Also change this to 13 and 13. Okay, so thumbs up there. I don't need this anymore. We want to set the path for 6 and 7. So case 2 is obviously nothing. Case 6 will be here. Case 6, and this will be case 7. Come from the bottom up. Top to bottom. Helix. Bottom to top. Helix. Alright. And I've also got to make it so that I can actually attack the enemies. I know it sounds dumb, but this is a really good way to have it set up so that I can just very quickly add a group of things that I can attack. So weapons, weapon collision, not in this file. Let's say weapon map. Yes, this is it. So room level 2 also has that looks like it's it, but I think there's one other file. One other file. Weapon collision check, I think it is. No, it's not. So let me just go through this real quick. Object is vulnerable. Okay. Score bonus, reversible, flash bull, weapon step. Let's just look at this. Aha, here we go. add the enemies for room level 2, get object group. That's where it is. Room level 1, and then room level 2. Here we go. DS list add R2 object enemy 2. That should make it vulnerable. Let's just try that for starters. Everything else, obstacles, backgrounds. Let's try this.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
He's still awake. Okay. Oh, I didn't add those guys. Okay, whoops. And I might have added one to the wrong position. So actually, I have an idea what happened here. 1, this should be 5, and this should be 6 because it starts at 0. SPH for story point holder. So I've got to update that. Script get path, enemy 3 path for which spot, enemies get path, and this should have been 5, and this should have been 6. 0, 1, 5, 6. 3 doesn't have to be here. Because that is for enemy 2. So that would fix that, and I might give those guys a little bit of a delay. Let's just check and see. And I might make them a little bit faster. Yeah, Chris, man, told you. Told you we were there, bro.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Okay. Let me think for a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might need to add one more alarm so that those guys can come out. Or let's just, I mean, these guys probably should be delayed a little bit anyway. Let me just pull these back barely. Put this guy at 12.5, put this guy at 13, and put these 13.5 and this guy at 14. And by that time, this guy right here, this one should be done. If not, it's no big deal. I just add another alarm in here to be handled properly. But we'll check it out in a minute. Because what I ended up seeing happening was one of the groups of PEBs came in earlier than the other one, which means that the third alarm that was available freed up, and the second alarm, so it goes 1, 2, 3, and then it recycles back to the first alarm, and if that first alarm is not available, if that first alarm is not available, it has to wait until the alarm frees up. And the way to fix that is just to add a few more alarms. Okay. So let's just add one more alarm. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. We got to add it and we got to touch it in a couple of places. Base enemy generator needs a 6th alarm. Add event alarm 6 2 4 5 6. Hit OK. And then enemy generator 2, what is alarm 2 using? I can't remember, but it's unimportant for this. Yep, save the changes. Then from here we go to script story point builder and then enemy 3 gen helper. Let's look at that guy, which then calls enemy 3 can generate, and we definitely have to touch that one, which is right here. And so this is where we add our other alarm, our new alarm. This should allow us to have another group of enemies come in without having to wait. 6, 6, and it looks like I'm gonna have to add these properties to the enemy generator, so I'll do that in a minute. 6. So right off the bat we needed an extra alarm, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal. 6. I am sure there's got to be a better way to do this. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. This should allow everything to play nicely together, though. Okay, that looks good to me. I need to go add these to the base enemy generator in the create event. Man, I thought I literally just added what's in this guy. I literally just added alarm 6, but apparently I need to add an action in here. Okay, that's fine. Hit OK. But we did need to touch the create event, so we could add 6, alarm 6 here. Okay, thumbs up. And I've got one more place to touch for sure, which is gonna be in the enemy 3 generate script, where I reset the alarm altogether, and I update a conditional to handle these correctly. Who? Oh. Okay. Yeah, this is just grab this guy because he's right in the middle. Start right here. And right here. Put this guy right here. And change all these to 6. I should probably just now have a script that does this because it's getting fairly complex, but we'll keep moving. think I have basically one more place to do that, which will be grab this guy all the way to here. Change this to 6. Okay. As far as I can think of, that's what I've got to update. Let's see if it picks up on this. So they should basically be allowed to come out at the same time.
Mission 1, Death at Dusk. Go!
One, two, these guys. 3, 4. What is going on there? I'm trying to think. I've got them activating at the exact same time. I think I'm missing one spot. I'm trying to think of exactly where it is. Ah, I know where it is. For sure, I have some more to update in this file.
This is a closet right here that's behind it. That closet gone.
This should be 2. This should be 4. And this should be 5. Yep. This should be actually be not equal R2. Two, 4, 5. This should be, of course, got the compile window in my way. Trying to find it. Where are you at, compile?
Hey guys, I just want to today.
There we go. Jeez. The invisible windows of Game Maker. Alright. 6. Okay, got it. Not tied to 6 on any of those. Not tied to 2, 4, or 5 on any of these. Let's try that. Let's try this one more time.
Roxy, just shoot over there, okay? Just lay it over there.
Mission 1, Death at Dusk. Go!
Still got delay. I'm not sure what that is. Let me think for a second. I think it's just a matter of the time that they're called in. don't have any output here. That's still current story point is 6. Technically 5 and 6 should basically just be alternating. Zero, 1, 0, 1. These definitely shouldn't be hitting 0 and 1. 0 and 1 should basically be done by now. 5, 1, 5, 1. Let me make sure I count 24 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, and then immediately 26 comes in. So I think there needs to be a delay. I mean, either the speed needs to be a little bit quicker for those first ones, which I don't really know how important that would be, as opposed to just changing the speed on these guys. And I'm already getting pretty tired of seeing all this right here, so I'm really debating pulling it out of here, but for the sake of continuing to move forward, I've got these activating. So yeah, this is only about, since this right here, this 8 seconds is only about halfway through this 14 seconds would only be about halfway through this. And that's why they're offset. So I'm almost thinking of and this feels like way too long. Let's just look at it. Actually, let's just I don't know why I'm trying to put them in two different story points. Let's just make sure they come out in the same story point and make sure that the story point that we pass in handles it. That's really the whole point of the position pointer. Like if we have two that are supposed to come out at the exact same time, let's just send them out at the exact same time. So that'd be in the spawn. And we need to know the position point here, which is going to be, let's just do case 5, position point 5 here. And we don't need to send it out this late. Let's go back to 14 like we had it. And so we'll say 5 now. Ooh, this is interesting. Got a scenario where a specific story point So, still thinking for a minute. Give me a second. I'm formulating this in my head. This doesn't need 6 here. And I may need... just because it's story point 5, I might also want the position point passed through here. If I had the position point, how would I handle that? Dang it. Thinking for a second. I think I can solve this fairly easily, but I just got to be smart about it. So basically just determine, you know, where this is getting called from. I think I have it. So we're passing the Y position in to here. I might pass the Y position into here. Let's do that. Argument 1. And minor changes here, so let's just add another argument here for our arg2 goes argument 2. And argument 2 equals captured story point. Let's just copy that guy. And change this to 2, and then change this to Y position. Enemy 3 spawn Y position. And I think we'll do this. On case 5, if arg1, oh, first of all, let me change this to arg2. Change this to 2. And I think I'll just go ahead and comment these out now. I don't need these anymore. I'll go ahead and fully delete them in just a minute. If arg1 is less than room height divided by 2, then right to left, top to bottom is good. Else selected equals path popcorn helix right to left, bottom to top. And that means I gotta change this guy right here, which is just gonna be straight up there. Story point. One equals y pos. So that should do that. It's just going to be a close estimate to how it should react and behave. So let's check that out.
Mission 1, Death at Dusk. Go!
Heyo. What was that all about?
Mission 1, Death at Dusk. Go!
It was just a new set of guys coming in, so Yeah, the new set comes in first and just sits on top of it. Yeah, and that is what it is. But
Mission 1.
it should have basically come in at the same time. Let's look at that again. Okay, keep going, keep going. Ah, they did. Perfect. The new set did come in at the same time. But I don't think I've specified the new set to have 24. I think that's got to be what it is. So 0, 1, 5. How many do I have for group max here? Aha. And that's the story point. There we go. Hit play. That's the problem. Now they should look like they all match up.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Yeah. Boom. That's tight. Okay. I might push them back a little bit or change the speed based on the story point. And if I do that, I would do that here. Speed is determined in here. The second piece, and this would be the spot. And so I might get the speed. I don't know. Speed is kind of a good speed the way we've got it. Oh, you watching, Chris? Yeah. Boom. So, yeah, I think I'll leave it alone like that for a minute. I'll add the dire pebs in just a second. When I get back, I'm going to take a bio break for 2-3 minutes, guys. Be right back. Back. Thanks, guys. All right. Okay. Now, let's read what's next. I think we just introduced the Dire Pep next. And this I am excited about. So I'm just reading here. Trying to think of the best way to do this. So I think what I'll do is just convert the very last peb to a dire peb and keep the 24 that I have. And we're talking about, when we're talking about adding the dire peb in, we're talking about this guy right here. And here's his animation. See if I can get zoomed in on this. I'm not sure that I can. Edit. So here's the dire peb. Half speed. There we go. And then can I make it bigger? Just to zoom in. I'm really just trying to show it off. But anyways, this is him right here, floating back and forth right behind the rest of the pebs. Kind of got a 3D look to him. Chris did a really good job with that. Yeah, I'm just not certain of a way to do it easily in Game Maker. There you go. There he is up close. I can only click one at a time here. So this is good. That's what we're going to add to the end to make sure we have an object for him. I don't know if we do yet. And I'm thinking about abstracting the Peb 3 and Peb 2 out to a different group, which would be multi-level. See how I'm doing some of these other ones. I'm using enemy 3 in multiple levels. I'm using enemy 2 in multiple levels. I guess I missed dropping enemy 3 in correctly. Let's try it again. Drop. Enemy 2 and enemy 3 now are in there. Beach house, Wi-Fi trash, like the only thing working is chat. Man, and every once in a while the stream loads. Ah, that sucks, yo. No worries, man. He'll be back here with good Wi-Fi soon, so it's all good, man. All right. Let me read the script because I'm thinking about just making the default for level 2 straight up 24. Depends on what this looks like. 8 pebs, 8 pebs, 8 pebs, 8 pebs. Never mind. Febs, helis, heli. Okay. continuing on here. So here's where we generate enemy 3. And really what we need to do here is determine if we're generating the last enemy in the group, and then just switch up the enemy. We'll keep all this other stuff the same, and just switch the enemy. And I was going to check and see if I have an object for this guy. Yes, I do. Peb Dyer. There is object Peb Dyer. There's this projectile. And how am I going to determine this? I think it's going to be based on what I have in script enemy 3 generate, because I'm pretty sure I pass in what the maximum is supposed to be. Let's see if I've updated this to reflect that. Let's go to spawn. Argument 3 is still the alarm tied to. How am I determining? How am I determining? Here we go. Alarm counter and alarm current counter and alarm current max count. So I think what I need to do is pass argument 8 into this. To determine which alarm the peb that I'm generating is tied to, and once I do that, I can determine what the current count is versus what the max count is. Yeah. And then when it's when the current count equals the current max count, then I can change it to the Dyer peb. So we're going to pass in another argument. Okay, and switch arg3. Good thing we kept our 0 alarm to current think I got that wrong. Alarm 2 current counter is equal to our 0.alarm2 current max count. One more time. I don't know why I keep closing this guy. I think just because it's so large right now. Alarm 2 current counter. I'm just making sure I spelled these correct. Current max count. Then, and I think it would never actually be equal to. Let's check. Maybe it would be just kind of the way I have it. Let's leave it at that. And say var dire peb equals false, and then we'll say if dire peb, then peb generated equals objects dire peb. Oh, wrong. Peb dire. So this guy would be dire peb equals true. Do the same thing for each of these. Again, I don't have a off the top of my head better way to do this. Unfortunately, I have to kind of have these hard-coded alarms in here. If I had enough time to think about it, I probably would just really mull over it until I could figure out how to make these all not hard-coded. This is actually, I put this wrong right here. Alright, alarm 6, two, 4, 5, 6, dire peb, generate the dire peb, and that should probably handle it. Let's see if that works. One more thing, of course, need to add the dire peb to the to what allows me to actually attack the enemy. So let's do that real quick. Cool. Alright, let's try that for now. See what it looks like.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Okay, so when the dire peb tried to get generated, it's got a some sort of issue here with let's copy this, take it over to Notepad. Trying to generate the wrong enemy. Enemy 1 prop is not correct. Try to pull from object base enemy. So we went through object base enemy step through the step event through base enemy step and base enemy animation, which tried to generate the enemy one prop, which doesn't exist on this guy. Trying to think of why it would have done that. Let's see if that enemy should be tied to. Just see if something weird is up. Okay, so good. It is tied to the base enemy. Ooh, this guy. Let's go into here and see what's going on in the depth engine real quick. I don't think this matters, but I'm just gonna spell this out in here anyway since I'm using it. Instead of this guy, we just say have generated. That should be good. That should suffice for the depth engine now. And so I'm wondering if this particular alarm didn't hit correctly. I'm not entirely sure. Argument 3 should have been the alarm that was tied to. And the argument 8. So this would be 2, 4, 5, or 6. This would be 2, 4, 5, or 6. And if it's 2, we check all the 2 items. I think what's happening is this is evaluating the false. Or I should say this is evaluating the false, and so it's therefore just trying to create the object-based enemy. Don't ask me, I'm not exactly sure why. I think let's do some debugging. So show debug message working on alarm. Show debug message current counter. Yeah.
Is it enough for me to spray paint your down there?
No.
do it outside.
Yep. Alright, let's see what that outputs.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Copy, abort. Let's look at the compile window. Okay, here we go. Alarm 2, counter 2, 24. So we get all the way to 24 for alarm 2. Keep going. Obviously it failed right here. So it's almost like the enemy generated just wasn't correct. I'm not sure. Looks like it hit exactly where I hoped it would hit, and that this should evaluate to true. Right now, dire peb evaluates to false. Should have evaluated to true here. And it should have taken that correctly. Let's just make sure this is all correct. Let's do a show debug message. Object being generated. Object get name of the peb generated dot object index, and that should give us a little bit more info. And you just paste this in. I think it's the exact same. Oh, I guess I don't still have that on my clipboard, but let's hit play here.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Let's try that again real quick. I think that's a bug that I have currently with just when object enemy 3 is supposed to get generated. Let's try that one more time.
Skycurser. Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
That's interesting. Unable to find any instance. Ah. Okay, got a way to fix that. I know how to fix that. Alright. This should fix the problem. Not sure if I want to leave this. Thinking about it. Let's do it.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Still has a problem with that debug message, but I'm going to remove the debug message. Don't think it should be erroring out there, but set get index of the peb. Asset get index expects a string. Correct. Let's check. Asset get index returns the unique index of the game asset with a given name. Ah, so I must be doing it a little bit incorrect. Ah, I see. Yeah, this should definitely be working here. That should be returning an object, and then I should be able to say object index. Not going to do that right now. See if this will work as expected. If I run it this way, if that is a string, should get the index. Try this.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Yep. More of the same on that. It's basically the same area, even though it changed up a little bit. This is not working as expected. I need to output. I still need to output and see what this is giving me. I need to see in order to be able to try to determine what it should be generating. Should be object enemy 3.